What's up, everybody, and welcome back to KRSTV. This is your boy Kenny. Now, remember, subscribe to my channel, and you click that bell so you can get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow all the information I have in the description box, as well as feel free to leave messages in the comment section. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. Now, this is a video, I know I have been gone. I have been MIA for a long time, and trust me, I will have a video that will definitely go into deep detail as to why I have been MIA for quite some time. But trust and believe, I have been going through a transition, as well as, you know, growing as an individual during this time that I've been away from YouTube. But for those who have been in my life, I definitely appreciate all the love and support people have given me. And I definitely am going to do a video where I'm going to actually discuss, you know, where I've been, my journey, my struggles, but also sharing that I am now in a better place. So this video, I'm going to dive into this whole situation with Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. Now, all of us know that Jada's book Worthy just came out. And Jada has been on this campaign hitting up all of these social media platforms, television platforms, discussing her life, as well as her marriage with Will Smith. One of the bombs that she dropped was that they have been separated for the past 7 years. And of course, you know, Jada is getting all of this backlash. She's getting all of these attacks, you know, because she keeps revealing all of this stuff about her and Will's marriage. And I think what's going on with Jada is that Jada is, I would say she's going through a healing process. She's pretty much regurgitating all of these things that she's been holding back for years. You know, because both her and Will have been hiding behind that public persona, that public platform as a big, you know, celebrity couple. As a matter of fact, they were one of the couples that kind of started that trend, and now we have a lot of, you know, celebrity couples that have followed that blueprint of Will and Jada. And I think Jada is gotten to that point where, because she's a very outspoken individual, she's getting all of this off of her chest, you know, for her healing. Because she's been revealing a lot about her childhood and her past. And if you really kind of dive into, like, her past, it all makes sense as to why she's doing what she's doing. But it's just not reading well because she's a public figure. And we were all made to believe that her and Will had this perfect relationship. Well, we're now getting that taste of reality that no relationship is perfect. And that Will is not perfect. I mean, I think that's where a lot of the backlash is coming from, because it comes off like she's emasculating him and she's breaking him down. But we come to find out that her and Will are total polar opposites from each other. You know, Will's being this traditionalist, you know, idea of marriage and family, whereas Jada is more of a free spirit. And I think that's why she talks about Pac a lot, because her and Tupac were kindred spirits. You know, she knew Pac before she had any fame and fortune. And that was, I think, a relationship that's deep within her heart and in her soul, because that was like her soulmate. Even though, according to Jada, they never actually had any physical relations, but they had this deep, you know, spiritual connection. I mean, I even saw it when Jada was playing Dina on A Different World, and Tupac actually was a guest star on one of the episodes as her former boyfriend from Baltimore. And the chemistry between them was apparent. I mean, I have to say that was one of my favorite Dina episodes, was seeing her and Tupac just display this great connection with each other. So what she's saying about Pac is definitely true. That they had a very deep connection, because I was immediately drawn to the chemistry that they had on that episode. And it's actually one of my favorite Dina episodes, on A Different World. And it was around this time, while she was on that show, she auditioned for The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And she was rejected because they told her that she was too short. And going out of that audition is where she met Will for the first time. She pretty much was like, kind of like, was like, hey, whatever, because he was trying to get at her. And I think he was with Alfonso Ribeiro at the time, who played Carlton. Well, later on, she was due back on set of A Different World, and that's where he actually went to the set to actually talk to her, but they never connected. And it wasn't until that they had a mutual friend in the name of Dwayne Martin who reconnected them, and that's when they finally met and finally started to, have a conversation with each other, and they connected. And I think also, when you think about Jada's past and you think about some of the things that she had to deal with, definitely her upbringing kind of mirrored Tupac's as well, because both of them had mothers who battled addiction. Jada's mom battling a heroin addiction, and then Tupac's mother, battling a crack addiction. So they both had parents who were addicts and had to live life, their early upbringing, their adolescent years, dealing with a parent that wasn't fully capable of being there for them due to their addiction, and how that addiction got in the way of them dealing with dealing with their parents and dealing with life. Because a good part of their life, a real crucial part of their life, their parent was pretty much unavailable because addiction had taken center stage into their lives. So her and Pac definitely like mirrored each other in regards to that. But then again, she also mirrored Will, because even though Will had pretty much like a middle class upbringing, he grew up in a very dysfunctional family as well. So there were connections that they both had due to some of the struggles that they went through in their youth. And I also think, like, another reason why I think Jada is like letting all of this out is because, one, due to the fact that they were public figures and that they had a public persona, she wasn't able to really live her truth the way she truly wanted to. She had to keep up with the facade. I mean, I remember when she was on the Red Table Talk, she had revealed that she never wanted to be married. And at the time that her and Will got married, she was pregnant with Jaden at the time, and her mother was pressuring her to get married, because her mother wanted to see her in that white gown and wanted her to have that traditional wedding. And Will, definitely being a traditional man who had been married and divorced, he wanted to have, a wife by his side. And I honestly believe that the two of them genuinely love each other. But I don't think it was, they kind of had a romantic period, but I don't think their love is a romantic love. I think it's more of a kinship or a friendship. Like they genuinely love each other. They love their kids, and their whole idea of marriage is different. Far more different than us, regular Joes would define marriage. But then when it was revealed that how chaotic their wedding was, and that she was literally just having a breakdown on her way down the aisle, like, that's that screamed volumes of what that marriage was going to be like. And it screamed values as to where she was at that time. That even though both of them are accomplished actors, they have their own fan base. I mean, because I'm not going to lie, I'm a huge Jada Pinkett fan. You know, Jada Pinkett Smith. I mean, I was a fan of her when she was just Jada Pinkett. I mean, Menace to Society, Inkwell, Jason's Lyric, Set It Off. I mean, iconic. Kingdom Come. You know, I mean, those are the ones that are coming off the top of my head, but I loved Jada as a talent. I mean, I still think to this day that she was, you know, she's a phenomenal actress. You know, I was always drawn to Jada, you know, as a talent. But I was also drawn to Will as a talent. I mean, hello. I grew up with the both of them. I mean, I remember as a kid watching The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I mean, that was like me and my brother's favorite show. Every Monday on NBC, me and my brother were literally front and center every episode. I mean, it was that Monday night that you looked to because Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was coming on, and it was like a family, or it was like a family show. And it was after, you know, the Cosby Show, whereas Fresh Prince of Bel-Air became that #1 family show. And it also goes to show how Will's career has been, you know, where, you know, he started off as a rapper, and then he's now morphed into this TV star. And not only is he a TV star, he's a TV star on one of the #1 networks, you know, NBC at the time, where his career is now A-list, you know, because he's being seen in homes all across the country. You know, white families are watching The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you know, so, you know, he's now in this stratosphere of his career, and then he morphs into doing movies. I mean, because let's keep it real, like, Jada was doing movies way before Will Smith was. So, and Jada has made her mark in the movie world. I mean, her movies are iconic. I mean, especially, like, Set It Off. I mean, I truly believe that in a lot of ways, Jada was slept on, you know, as an actress, you know, as far as the mainstream, because her talent is just impeccable. And to tell you the truth, I want to see Jada do more acting. I mean, Girls Trip. I mean, just stuff coming off the top of my head. Like, I'm a huge Jada fan. Like, I love her as a talent, and I love Will as a talent. I mean, hello, Bad Boys, Independence Day, Enemy of the State, you know, just off the top of my head. I mean, iRobot, I mean, I Am Legend, like these are two powerhouse personalities, and because of their fame as well as their union, they had to present this persona of their relationship that we now realize was not true. So everyone is bashing Jada. I'm not even gonna lie, I was even looking at Jada sideways like, really, bitch? Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was with that until I started to dive more deep into the situation, and I realized that what Jada is doing is not necessarily breaking Will down. She's breaking down the image, and she's breaking down the fantasy that we've had of her and Will's relationship. That's what she's breaking down. She's not breaking down Will. You know, Will, you know, is letting her do her thing because, you know, Will had his tell-all where he shared a lot about his life. And now she's doing the same with Worthy, because she literally went through a great part of her life feeling unworthy and unlovable. And it explains why certain things went down the way that they did. And why, you know, when she talked about her entanglement with August Alsina, she admitted that she just wanted to feel good. You know, it was a long time in her life that she felt good and she wanted to feel good. Now, of course, during that Red Table Talk, we literally were just like blown away by what was being said, but also even bothered by the look on Will's face, because Will felt, he kind of gave off the fact that he felt defeated within his marriage. So of course she got all of the hate and the backlash, but now we're coming to realize that they were separated and that they had been separated for years. But we were still made to believe that they were still this perfect family, this perfect marriage, you know, due to the brand that they've created with each other. And we now realize that now that more is being revealed, that it's like they both had their issues within this situation, and she's cleansing herself by revealing all of this stuff. And of course, everyone is kind of looking like, really? You could have said this years ago. But the irony is, do we always reveal things when we should reveal them? Or do we do it when we feel comfortable to do so? And I think being fair to Jada, she's at this point where she's now revealing a lot of the things that she's been battling, you know, behind the persona. Because let me keep it real. And I want you all to hear me when I say this. When it comes down to celebrity, it's all theater. Every time we see a celebrity and they're in that mode, meaning every time a camera's rolling, a photographer is taking a picture, anytime a mic is being used, it's lights, camera, action. It's not just on the movie set or on a television set or on a stage. Once that celebrity hits the scene, it's like, play your part, play your role, let's get it. And we've seen many celebrities who have struggled with that. I mean, for example, Whitney Houston, you know, Michael Jackson's another one. Like, so many of them that when the fame comes in, it's a totally different monster, because it's like you're acting in your daily life. You know, so your private life has to become more and more suppressed, because you have to keep up with this public persona. And I think that's what we're seeing with Jada. Jada is breaking down the image that we've all had of her and Will. And I think that's why it's hard for all of us to sit with all of this, especially when she reveals her relationship with Pac. We definitely see that, yeah, Pac was her soulmate. Even though they didn't have a physical relationship, they had a deep connection. And then losing him, and then afterwards losing her best friend, that left her in a very sad and sunken place. And, you know, even Will had to even admit that he was jealous of that connection. And he said that, I wish I would have gotten to know him, but at that time I wasn't trying to deal with that because I saw him as competition. And it's kind of ironic that, you know, a girl can have a guy that's a very, very good friend, but then once she starts dating another guy, that guy can get jealous of that friendship. You know, because it trips people up, the fact that a guy and a woman can have a platonic relationship and it's not based on sex. And if you're a person coming in, you know, when she's been friends with this guy for years, and you immediately start that notion, he's sexualizing you, or he's this and he's that. It just does nothing but trivialize the whole concept that people can be friends and can be platonic of the opposite sex and then not be based on anything sexual. So I'm going by what she's saying, that her and Pac's relationship wasn't sexual, but then she just revealed that Pac had proposed to her when he was locked up in Rikers. Personally, I believe that could have been the case. But by the time that he had passed away, they weren't on good terms. You know, they had this big blowout fight. You know, he was actually engaged with Kadada at the time of his death. And, you know, she was, you know, with Will. So it was, let's just say, you know, due to, you know, the recent developments of Keefe D being arrested for Pac's, you know, for Pac's killing, and all this stuff being revealed, you know, it's just giving us more and more clarity on who Pac was, the person, you know, from Jada, because Jada knew him before the fame. He knew her before the fame. You know, so for her to now get to the point where she's now revealing this is actually rather enlightening, you know, on my end. And I want you guys to get in the comments and let me know your thoughts on this. But I really, truly believe what she's going through right now is a cleansing. She now sees herself as lovable and worthy. And I think Will has always saw this for her. I truly believe Will genuinely loves her. But she struggled for years to love herself. And you know the saying goes, right? If you can't love yourself, how you gonna love somebody else? Can I get an amen up in here? Shout out to RuPaul, because that is a true saying. And I think we're seeing that being manifested with Jada at this time. And for a lot of people, they're not going to be able to take it, because we're so used to the image, and we like, you fucking up the brand, you fucking up our idea of you guys. But that's life, you know. We change over time. We grow. We become, you know, different people, you know, over this course of life. And I think that's what's going on with Jada, you know. And I think that it could be a possibility that her and Will may do a collaborative book together, you know. And it'd be interesting to see how all this plays out. But definitely shout out to Will, you know, shout out to Jada, and it's just really giving me more clarity as to why certain things have gone on. But then I know that it's definitely it's got to be tough, you know, on Jaden and Willow to hear all of this about their parents and to see their mom reveal so much. I can possibly imagine that this is not an easy thing for them. But, you know, shout out to Jaden and Willow as well, you know. So I'm just keeping my eyes and ears to see how this is going to continue to transpire, and how this is going to continue to hit the airwaves, because her book is out. Definitely get her book. You know, because I think it'll give us all more understanding and clarity of who Jada Pinkett Smith truly is. And this is what we're seeing. You know, her really coming into her own. Her coming into who she is now, but then also understanding where she has been. So that's what I have, y'all. Get down in those comments and let me know your thoughts on this. I just ask that you be respectful. You know, don't come up in here disrespecting me. But you don't have to agree with me. You know, I definitely want to hear other people's perspective on Jada's situation, and what are your thoughts in regards to that. But be respectful. So that's what I have, y'all. You know, get down in those comments, let me know your thoughts. So until next time, everybody, take care.